Hey, how y'all doing? This is Vicky. You know, I'm on here to tell my why. The reason why I do what I do. My why. So, for those of you who do not know that I have been on a juice fast, it was wonderful. It was wonderful but challenging. But I made it through. I had some hiccups along the way. I'm going to be transparent about that. I did have some hiccups, but I made it through. I asked a lot of questions for those who have experience of doing a juice fast. Now, the reason for my juice fast is that you guys probably don't know if you're new and just tuning in. I had a scare concerning my glucose levels. I had a real talk with my doctor, and I had to really get serious about, my health, especially if I want to live. And I'm still is. I'm on 3 different medications. Oh God. But yes, 3. But guess what? I'm doing something about it. Don't wait to get this bad to get on 3 different medications to get your glucose levels under control. But I kept ignoring the warning signs. I'm going to be transparent. I kept ignoring those and saying, you know what, I'm going to be fine. I'm working out. But I was working out, and I'm still working out. But I really wasn't watching what I was intaking in my body or in my regimen every day. I was still drinking sodas. I was still, sneaking a candy bar every now and then, thinking that it would be okay. I was still, picking up the bad habits, still had the bad habits. But when I realized my glucose levels was 9 something, I'm like, okay, it's time to get serious. It's really time to get serious about my health, because my levels in the past, I'm gonna be honest, was 11 something, and I realized that stress has a lot to do with your life, life in general. I don't care if you don't have any health problem. If you keep stressing out, you will sooner or later have a lot of health problems. So I realized that, that had a lot of play in my health. So what I did, I went to my doctor because I really wasn't feeling well, and I kept, not having enough energy. I stayed tired all the time. I couldn't focus or concentrate. These are just some of the things. And I stayed shaky. Then my head started swimming like an ocean. It was just so many things I was going through, but I knew that something wasn't right. I knew that something was off. So when I had that talk and that visit with my doctor and everything, she said, this is what you got to do. If you're planning on staying here, this is what you have to do. You don't have a choice. But she did encourage me. She said, if you keep this up, and your levels come down, your glucose levels come down, it can be reversible. She said type 2 diabetes can be reversible. And I said, okay. I didn't argue with her. I wasn't argumentative. I didn't try to make no excuses. I was like, okay, I need to listen, because this lady trying to help me, and she's trying to save my life. And I don't want to be on medication all the time. When I heard she said it can be reversible, okay, I was going with anything she said anyway, because I was like, okay, I know when reality hits and sets in, you know yourself as well that you need to make some life changes. So I had to be honest with myself. Okay, I know things are not going to be easy. I had already mentioned that, and kind of just said, I got to do this, whether it's going to be easy or whether it's going to be hard. I put myself in this predicament. So I would be the one that had to get myself out of this predicament. Nobody can get me out of this but me. So that means that I had to put in the work. So I've been putting in the work. I would go back to the doctor April the 4th. So I am excited because I know I've been putting in the work, and I will keep y'all guys updated and posted about my results, because I know it should be down more than 9 something. And so anyway, I'm sitting here and I thought about, let me pop on. I just got out the grocery store, and when I was in the grocery store, I was like, oh, I want some black eyed peas. I want some black eyed peas. I said, oh, I want some black eyed peas so much. And I looked it up, and it say starchy. It's starchy. So I know that it would interfere with my levels. So I had to put the starchy back, the black eyed peas. I had to put that back for right now, because I'm trying to get everything, I'm getting everything under control, and I don't need nothing to offset my levels right now. So I put that back, and I said, well, let me get my Old Faithful, which is greens, collard greens. I love collard greens. I said, let me get my collard greens. Let me get my tomatoes. Let me get the food that will help me, and help my glucose levels without shooting it up. So let me get the food right now that I love to eat. I still love to eat greens. Forever will love collard greens or any greens, but I prefer collard greens. I love tomatoes. I don't have to have anything on the tomatoes. I love cucumbers. And I say, so let me get some food that I will enjoy eating. And the biggest battle for me and the biggest struggle was my mindset. Changing my mindset. That's the biggest struggle that I'm dealing with right now. The mindset, because we have these habits that we are used to doing, these habits that we eat unhealthy food. Some of us grew up on fried chicken, some of us grew up on mashed potatoes and gravy. Some of us grew up on smothered pork chops and, just eating whatever we desire to eat and not really realizing what we're doing. We're damaging, harming our bodies. When we're young, we don't realize that, but as we get older, we look at the results of everything that we done put in our bodies over the years, and now we have to suffer by getting on medication, by getting in wheelchairs or walkers or aches and pains, which we're going to have that anyway, most of us, the aches and pains, and we're going to have different issues that we are dealing with. But sometimes we can avoid these things by doing the right thing if we practice by doing the right thing while we're young. Now, when we was younger and under the roof of our parents, we didn't have any control of that. So that's a different thing. But, when we come into the knowledge, that's the word I'm looking for. When we come into the knowledge of food and who we are, and the knowledge of how some certain foods can contaminate our body, destroy our body, things like that. When we come into the knowledge of that, then we ought to want to do something, and we ought to want to change our eating habits. But sometimes we ignore the warning signs, just like I did. I kept ignoring the warning signs until I got to a place where, hey, you either gonna listen or you're not. So that's when the choices step in. That's when you have to have a choice to say, hey, do I want to live, or do I want to die, or do I want to be crippled, or do I want to prevent this? Now, some things we can't avoid. If it's gone too far, then some things we can't avoid in life, So while we can avoid, being a certain type of way that we are, then we have control to change it and turn it around. So I'm in this grocery store. I'm passing the ice cream aisle. I'm passing the candy aisle. I'm passing the chicken. Oh my God. So I'm passing all that, all the processed food, because everything that we touch is processed food, processed this. So, like I said yesterday, I'm kind of wondering about the plant-based foods. Are they really processed foods? Are they really plant-based foods? Are they made from man-made, which I know that are they made in laboratories, or how do they come up with this? So I'm really questioning that right now. Like I mentioned yesterday, just eating from the earth, pulling the roots and everything, eating it from the earth. If I can just pull up things from the earth, I know I will live longer if I treat myself real good, such as greens. If I pull them greens up from the earth, those collard greens, if I dig for those yams, sweet yams, I know that I'm getting the best nutritional value for me to put in my body. But if I go out here and get 12 pieces of fried chicken, been probably frying in God knows what, and what else been frying in there, I'm doing more harm to myself than I am good. So I have to make this conscious decision. Just like today, after church, I could have went easily to Whataburger and got me a burger, and some fries and some shake or a drink. Easily said and done. And I was like, nope, I'm sticking to this. Nope. I've been doing good. So fighting temptation is another struggle that I deal with. And now I keep water in my car. And when I think about those unclean thoughts of putting something in my mouth that don't belong there, I get my jug of water or my bottle of water and I sip it. Here's my jug that I keep. And I sip that. Here's my water is almost gone. And I sip that. And I said, I'm taking the place, or I'm substituting my water for the unclean foods and the thoughts that I have. Now, each time this comes to my brain, my frontal lobe, I will take a sip of water to let the enemy know you're defeated, because I'm not going to give in. I will win this battle. I will win in taking control and over my health. I will win that. Is it going to be easy? No. But the more I do it, the more I come into the knowledge of what I need to do and what I need to put in this body of mine, then I will become victorious. And that's the whole key, is becoming knowledgeable of the things that you need to put in your body to be healthy. That's the main key. That's the main ingredients. So I just wanted to come on here, give someone encouragement, to inspire someone who is on the journey, maybe struggling, just like I am. And I noticed all the detox is coming out of my body. I noticed one thing also, that my nose, all the toxic and mucus is coming out. It's coming out my body. And it's coming up, every morning. And it's not allergies, because I haven't been doing this. But I noticed this on this juice fast, that it's been coming up a couple of days. Also, I ended my juice fast at midnight last night. So I am on collard greens, yams, and I am still on the plant-based foods. I have a freezer full of plant-based food. I will eat that until I learn different. But I will put in my plant-based food vegetables, tomatoes, onions, carrots. And speaking of the carrots, I am trying a purple carrot instead of the orange carrot. I discovered that the purple is better for you than the orange, especially if you're diabetic. I'm not going to go all into details of the reason why. Do your research. I encourage you to do your research on a lot of things. So I am leaning toward more organic food, because organic is better. No biochemistry, no chemicals just set off in there, and it's just healthy. It's more healthier for you. Also, I'm gonna lay low and probably do this for a week or so. Just vegetables, plant-based foods. And then I will jump back on my juice, because this is helping me. And I enjoy doing it now. It was a struggle, but I'm better now. I can tell the results in my glow of my skin. The energy has came back, which I had lost energy. I couldn't sleep. I was fatigued. I'm sleeping now. And I sleep all night. And I don't get up through the night. God, thank you, Jesus. Get up through the night, making several trips to the bathroom. Oh, that was so annoying when I had to constantly get up through the night, losing sleep, losing energy, making all those trips to the bathroom. I don't do that anymore. So I'm seeing the benefits of doing the juice and watching and monitoring the things that I'm putting into my body. I'm seeing the benefits, y'all. So also my clarity, my focus, my thinking is tremendous. It's getting better. I'm seeing some things that, I never would have saw if I didn't make this drastic decisions. And I'm like, oh God, thank you. Thank you. And being on this spiritual walk, this was the best thing that ever could have happened to me, because I'm more closer to God. I'm more trusting in God. And I'm like, God, take my hand and lead me. Take me. And don't let me lead myself. But you lead me into all truth. And I know you will. And I have a better outlook on things. Outlook on life. All I can do is just say, try it. Try it yourself. You don't believe me? Try it yourself. And you would notice the change in you. So I just want to get on here and encourage someone, inspire someone to keep on keeping on, because the struggle is real. The struggle is real, but you can do it. You can do it. All right, thank y'all for watching. Make sure you like, subscribe to my YouTube channels and to my Facebook, Determined But Not Defeated. All right, see you next time. Bye-bye.